We are live, my man. I ain't gonna lie, that intro is kind of hot, dog.
Beautiful weekend. Beautiful weekend. Had some great sunshine up here in the Panhandle. We're back at the grind on a Monday night.
Oh yeah. So I know you were doing your thing. Obviously I was doing mine coming back from the trip. I know you had a more difficult time getting to walk through all than I did, but you know what? Let's kind of jump back and refresh from where we were. Uh, Friday Night SmackDown. That was definitely interesting, man. Tamatonga jumped up with the bloodline. What are your thoughts with that?
Um, Look, we were expecting a few things, and we really didn't know what was going down. But to see the long-term storyline being told without a storyline being told, anybody that's old enough or educated on the history of WWE knows anything about those two particular guys, Tamatonga and Solo Sikoa, or even the Usos, is their fathers respectively were tag teams years ago.
Well,
And
I was gonna say they kind of ran it back to 99 2000 for us in that when
yeah,
Haku and Rikishi did that little impromptu tag, and I do believe, if I'm correct, it was against DX. I'll have to go
yep,
back
it
and,
was.
and check on that, but I do believe it was DX, New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, what I saw was, and to be real, the way looking back at the Yeet No Yeet battle at WrestleMania,
Yeet.
with our surprise at how it went down, I personally feel like that was the right way to go with this attack on Jimmy, because what that's going to do is, I promise you, is going to bring the boys back together a little bit. And with
Well,
him taking, well, with what I was saying, with him taking the beat down that we thought he would take in that match, and the extremeness that we thought that match would go into, it would take a lot longer for those wounds to heal, for that reconnection, I should say. So I think it followed suit, and now what I would say is, this is going to be a very, 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 very interesting storyline.
I mean, obviously, let's see how this pops up. What do you think?
I personally am going to ride with the old bloodline, and what I think will eventually be the old bloodline are the Usos and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
There could be more additional, members, but I think that's going to be the core. With the other side being, I believe, Jacob Fatu is going to come join Solo Sikoa and Tamatonga. That's what I feel. I see those three coming in and creating the bloodline, and I feel that this whole storyline is intertwined with everything else that Cody and Roman and The Rock have been going through over the last 2 months, 3 months.
Well, Cody kind of emphasized it tonight. Um, he'd spoke of I didn't catch it. I haven't yet to look at it. The Rock putting up a video. I mean, undeniably calling Seth freaking Rollins the MVP. Cody even alluded to it being, Seth being his shield during WrestleMania. So I don't know if you obviously you probably haven't got the opportunity to see it. They're looking
I
for
actually just watched it before the show.
well, I was gonna say they were looking for they're looking at a Roman and Shield Seth match at SummerSlam with The Rock and Cody. Now, this bloodline versus new bloodline. The the Rock had already made mention he's focusing on WrestleMania 41, which
Right. In
I
that
would
in that
like.
very same video he put out.
Yes, so I would like to believe that this is possibly setting up for a bloodline, new bloodline, civil. I mean, obviously civil war, because we don't know where this thing's gonna be, bro.
Yeah, no
Like,
doubt.
we do not know where this WrestleMania next year is gonna be. I mean, could it possibly be two different areas? Could you see a night one in one city and a night two in another? Just, I mean, and I don't, maybe not,
Wow.
but
That would be
could we,
crazy.
see something like that? Um, if I don't want to get it, obviously we'll get into it as this story unfolds more,
Right.
but this could really, really impact like how this whole thing goes, and this is almost going to overshadow Cody being the champion. I'm just going to put that out there.
I could see
Now,
that happening because this is for real.
yeah, now we're going to go ahead and move on to tonight. Go ahead and get rid of that for a minute. In other news, Rhea Ripley had to vacate her Women's World Heavyweight Championship due to injury. Don't know how. I mean, obviously, it was an attack after the Liv Morgan thing last week, talking shoulder. She's saying a couple months. I'm believing we get her back by obviously SummerSlam.
That destroys
Who
the title run though.
it does, but this also piques my interest on a storyline for when this return comes. Who do you predict
Well, what
being
they do
in
have an opportunity to do.
what?
Well, I was going to say what they do have an opportunity to do is take another WWE superstar and elevate them in this time. And that being said, there's rumors out that Seth, because of his legitimate back injury that he struggled with for the last 2 years, realistically, um, him and Becky were taking some time off. That's a rumor. Now
Yes.
that's yet to be confirmed, but again, I could definitely see Seth taking some time off. I want to say like Becky. It feels like Becky just came back, but she hasn't. She's been back what, year and a half now.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, with a small baby at home, being a father, I get it. It makes sense. It wouldn't be shocking. So that would alleviate her. Now you mentioned a name um, that has been heavy with putting out the word that she's coming for the title, and she's coming for retribution as well, and that's Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan would probably be her and Bianca Belair would probably be my two top picks for that title right now as we speak.
Well, so when you're thinking champions as of right now, if I was trying to look back through it, I can't find. Next week, I do believe they're saying they're going to crown a champion. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know who this involves. Bianca could be a person if they bring somebody from SmackDown. With Bianca and Jade right now, I'm going to cross that off your list. If we get Liv Morgan to me is the perfect one because you give her title run again, you let Rhea come back, and you let them run it back.
I think she fits. Yeah.
Another one that would be
Hmm.
very, very interesting is we're getting
I agree,
these.
100%. I think that makes the
We're,
most sense.
we're getting these vignettes, and I know you didn't get the opportunity to catch it tonight, but we're getting the QR codes again. The white rabbit. I'm not going to say the white rabbit is back, but damn near the white rabbit is back. Could we get an Alexa Bliss surprise return for this? And you know what, Ben?
You
I'm gonna run
couldn't
with Ben
pay me
on
to be
this one
happier
too. I'm
if
gonna
that would
run it with
happen.
I'm gonna run it with Ben on this because this is where I'm running at it. You get Lee and Riv at SummerSlam. I think Survivor Series is a little bit too much of a wait.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna continue to keep running with what they like.
no
I
doubt.
think you're gonna see just them punching in the mouth with these storylines left and right before the deal's done with when they end basically USA Network, because there is that 3 month gap, and we'll get into that
Yeah,
in future. But that's eye opening. We'll call it that. Also,
yeah.
we got to see.
I mean, it's sad
Also,
that it has to come to that, but it is something that happens all the time in this business.
yeah. Also tonight, new tag titles were unveiled from Triple H, aka Tommaso Ciampa, because we'll talk about it. But Truth is gold, bro.
He is.
Champa. Truth is already believing Champa is Hunter, so it was only fitting to run it back. Now,
Look, my wife made a prediction. Speaking on this real quick, like, is R-Truth the greatest WWE sports entertainer of all time? Think about what
you
he's done and for how long he's done it.
you know what, my man?
I mean, just you take away the titles, but what he does for the fans, the core of the business, and what he's supposed to be doing, and how he connects with every single fan, it's nuts.
Yeah, and you know what, bro? We can call him
It's
the
you could say
hang on,
argumentatively the greatest
hang
sports
on,
entertainer of all time.
bro. He's the greatest champion of all time.
Look,
No, no, statistically, our truth is the greatest champion of all time. Name another person with
because of
50
yeah,
with over 50 title reigns the way he has. Our truth
shut the
has.
front door. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, let's think about it. Isn't our truth a 52 time, 53 time, something like that?
Dude, I
20,
lost count how many
24/7
times that
champion.
bro held that 24.
So think about it. He's a former world heavyweight champion. I mean, you count his titles in and out of WWE, bro. TNA, NWA.
Wow.
It-
You make a
it-
great point there, adding all that for throughout his whole career. I mean, the guy's fantastic.
yeah, and I mean, my man, he's doing it at 51, 52 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he is, bro. If if you were to right now put a Mount Rushmore in wrestling, you have to put R-Truth, and I believe we talked about this.
357-time champion.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. And you know
No
what?
doubt.
Just because I wanna see. But you have to give him his flowers at this point.
No doubt.
Like
I
like
mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I mean, bro, he's the greatest African American champion. Period.
Ever.
Championships and accomplishments. He's a 2 time United States champion, 2 time hardcore champion, 54 time 24/7 champion, 2 time Raw Tag Team champion, bragging rights trophy champion, mixed challenge champion, 2 time Slammy Award winner. And
current tag team champion.
yeah, like, bro, that's what 58 total championship.
That's
Like,
insane. And I'm
naming
sorry to
those.
hijack your topic, but you said his name, and I'm like, we got to
No,
start paying this guy some respect.
no, but name me another guy. Name another guy, and we can go, bro. We can do a whole show on our truth.
I mean, you're talking guys like Hunter and Ric Flair and Randy Orton because of the multitude of single championships they won. They also won a multitude of tag team championships, but those gaps between those wrestlers and R-Truth are still magnificent. You're talking like
Yeah,
still 15, 20 title runs ahead of the closest person, probably.
yeah. Now, and even better news tonight, like, bro. Sheamus returned
Look,
in his first match.
Bella.
My man, in our first fight night on Monday night, we got to see him kick the shit out of Ivar. Bro,
Look,
let's talk. Let's just
I
talk about
really
it for
hate
one
it for
second.
Ivar.
I,
I really hate it for
I
Ivar, but at the same time, I have been waiting for him to come back for a few weeks. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't make it back for WrestleMania as a surprise entrance to maybe the tag team championship match and help his boys out. Um, but at the same time, I'm glad he's back, and it looks like he's definitely on the face side. He's definitely not a heel. I did see. I didn't get to watch Raw tonight, but I did see a clip of his entrance, and it looked like the vibe in the arena was he was definitely a face entrance.
yeah,
And it's good to see that, but I really think he deserves to be in the title picture.
I agree. I don't know, man. Like, I think we're beyond the days of needing to bring someone in like Sheamus and automatically throw him in a title picture to make it interesting or
Hear me
relevant.
out. Hear me out.
What's up?
And that's not the reason why I say that. For about 2 years, he was with a collection of wrestlers that in a tag team championship match at WrestleMania and have been on a really hot streak. Not two of them, but one of them. And, but he's done a lot of jobber work for a long time, and he's put his work in. And when I say he deserves to be the title picture, doesn't necessarily deserve to be a champion, is what I would say. I want to make that clear. That's my message. He deserves to be in the title picture, not necessarily have a belt put on him just because of that. But I believe he deserves to be in the picture with multitude of others. There's about
No,
three or four guys that I think right now deserve to be in the title picture.
no, because bro, you've had Sheamus gone since August. His last match was Edge's last match.
Yeah.
So you can't automatically turn around in
Really?
2024. Yeah. Sheamus's last match was Edge's last match, August of 2023, my man. You can't turn around to this day in April of 2024 and just because Sheamus comes back, I mean, all due respect to Sheamus, I love Fight Night, bro. I love the dude to death. He's one of my top guys. You just don't automatically put him up in that title picture because now you got a group of talent,
I
bro.
didn't realize he's been gone that long.
Yeah, but now you got a group of talent. Well, you got to think he's been gone long enough
That's crazy.
for Brawling Brutes to done gone through a whole little fake feud, separate Pete Dunne to come back to himself, Ridge Holland to go to NXT and quit. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But what I will say
Okay.
is Sheamus being back, bro. This just means that there is so much more we can get out of this.
Oh,
This doesn't just
wow.
have this doesn't just have to be a you know, a Sheamus world title picture. There's so much more involved because it's not Vince McMahon that he doesn't have to push the big guys. The big guys can be the mid carders. You don't got to be your main topic.
Right.
But
Look, Ben, I want to make a point on your comments. I think personally, Ridge Holland was a decent guy, probably, but he was a very dangerous freaking wrestler.
he could have been. He could have been good had it
He was too
not been
sloppy.
for. Yes, it was too much, and maybe it was too fast paced for him.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the issue.
And that's part of the reason why they probably moved him down to NXT.
So, well, and we're just gonna lead into the speaking of good wrestlers and good wrestling. S- Sammy retained in a fucking phenomenal match, bro. Like I was getting flashbacks of the Montreal screw job, and it felt I knew they were running that route. It wasn't the screw job, but you did see a couple sharpshooters. You seen a couple throwbacks, for HBK. Um, Afterward, bro, we seen Chad Gable attack the hell out of Sami Zayn. Now, before you get into it, personally, I think I'm ready for a heel Chad Gable. I think he has done phenomenal work with not only Otis and the Alpha Academy, but Tozawa, bro. He just, I guess, made a way to make him relevant.
Yeah.
Because he reminds me a lot of Tajiri, bro. Like, they just had him there. And, I mean, the countless other stuff that he's done, man. Like, I think it's time to give Chad Gable that true, I guess, heel run, but put a title on the man at the end of it. No
I like it.
no disrespect to Sammy or hell, bro, wherever he goes. If he goes to SmackDown, takes on Logan Paul, if Logan's still there, you
I
know,
agree.
you know what? At the end of the day, bro, give my man Chad Gable a
I think
goddamn.
Chad Gable has come a long way as far as his whole character. Not because like this, you can't say he's not a good wrestler because that guy is a world-renowned wrestling champion. You know, um,
Bro, he's a fucking Olympic champion.
yeah,
He's
absolutely.
like,
And that being said alone, his skill level is through the roof. And what he's done over the last year and a half with taking characters and building them and having a foundation and taking them straight up. And not
yeah,
only himself, but wrestlers around him, he has, like you said, he has elevated. So he's definitely on the deserving track, but you know what? He's good enough to make it count too.
I mean, not to, not
I
that.
mean, we can't discredit anybody because of their damn size. I mean,
Well,
look at Rey Mysterio.
I was about to say, bro, not to really be a dick rider in that way, but he makes it, bro. He's one of those like without a title around his waist. I still pay attention. I still focus.
Yeah,
Like
I've started doing that
his,
myself in the last six
his,
months.
like I find myself looking at Chad Gable and going, "Wow, look what he has done." Because
Dude, my kids would do something, and I'd walk around and be like, "Thank you."
oh no, man, I mean not even with the shoosh and the thank you and all that, but like, bro, just in general, the man is a
He's a class
eh,
act.
bro. He's a gem. So, like Ben said, man, I think we all need to be in for a heel Chad Gable.
I'm totally on board. Totally on board.
So,
And it makes this program between these two guys a lot more interesting.
yeah, well, hey, so we're gonna kind of run it off, run it off course for a minute. We don't normally do this, but we do at the same time. I kind of been paying attention to Sean Ross Sapp a lot,
Okay.
and you know we'll show this real quick as well. But
Look, I totally agree with that last portion right there.
yeah, but here's the thing, man. Like, if we can get this, if we can get an AEW and WWE crossover under the right circumstances, the game could change, bro. Especially with New Japan and WWE starting to have more of a, I guess,
More of a
pre-
relationship. That's exactly how it could be said.
I get, yeah, I guess you do call it that relationship because, I mean,
They
we
didn't for a while.
well, I mean, well, we know why, but let's talk about it, bro. We're talking Bloodline, and we're talking about Tama Tonga, and we're talking Cody Rhodes, we're talking AJ Styles. We gotta talk Bullet Club. Could we get a Bullet Club clash, AEW and WWE style, instead
I mean,
of
that would be one you would go for sure.
jockeying and paying and fighting for the free agents and all this and taking the shots. If they worked together and gave this one great product, wouldn't it be a little bit more interesting? Like, you don't have to do it every week, every show. There's no reason for it. You don't jump into each other's pay-per-views like that. You still run your own separate entities and shows, but under the right circumstances. What if we got a Cody Rhodes and say, hell, bro, what if MJF went back to AEW, won the world championship again? What if we got a Cody versus MJF? Or hell, bro, what if Dustin ends up winning the AEW title from Samoa Joe down the line? What if we had a Dustin versus Cody match? Champion versus champion? Like,
Like
not
back in the
even like
day, I rooted for Dustin. I would literally root for Cody in that match today.
like and see, and I like where Ben's at with this. Can we really trust a silver spoon brat who inherited money from his father, who runs a promotion like he's playing with action figures like Tony Khan does? You know what, Ben? Here's one of the right circumstances, because I don't think it's got to be just right circumstances that only Tony Khan agrees with. One, Tony Khan's got to put down the cocaine, bro. Two, he's got to listen to cats like Chris Jericho who know how to book. Listen to guys like Tony Schiavone who know how to book. Quit letting dipshits like the Young Bucks run production and pull and just all of a sudden want to release footage that make everybody look retarded. You
That
know,
was dumb.
like
That was so
that
dumb.
was to me that was a horrible look for the entire AEW
Uh,
organization, whether you love them or hate them. And
yeah, it sure was.
I'm not saying that to be a what they call an e-boy. So for me, if they could get into it, like
John, I love that comment, brother.
bro, that my man, yo, that is the highlight of the night right there. Thank you
Look, if
for
you
that.
can't read, ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat this comment. If I ever met Tony Khan, I will tell him to look in my eyes. What do you see? The cult of
The cult of
personality.
personality. Hey, you know what,
Love
man?
it.
That would. Hey, so you know what? Hear me out. The only way for AEW to really survive, it ain't to be buying up Ring of Honor. It ain't to be buying up TNA. It ain't to be, circle jerking New Japan, just because you need some people to draw into your fucking pathetic ass organization.
Right.
in order for AEW to survive and even fucking be in the same damn category to even be a rival, they're gonna have to work with WWE. Because the ones that legit were the fucking rivals, the ones that legit almost put WWE on a whole nother level of being put out, they ended up working for WWE because they got bought out because guys like Vince Russo ran
And let's
things on the
clarify,
grid.
it wasn't about money because Ted Turner has plenty of money.
Oh, bro, we see Ted Turner still has money. He's still putting fucking money into
Yeah.
a product that actually sucks.
Yeah.
WCW tried at least. I don't think Tony Khan is trying.
With Herb Abrams.
Exactly.
Heard that.
So the only way for that to work, man, is they have to go and do it the right way.
But
You
they're never
gotta.
going to let WWE take the lead in that production, but that's the only way it would work.
It's the only way. It's the only way it works. And you know what? The
I mean, I'll watch the matches, but I can't follow the storylines. There's no storylines. They're not worth
I
a
was,
shit.
yeah, I was gonna say what storylines are you following? There's none to it. The ones that they build are r- the only fucking storylines are look like they were scribbled on by Tony Khan and approved by the Young Bucks.
But they have good matches. It's just there's no story with it. It's just a bunch of
Bro, they got
acrobatics.
dog. They got so much great talent that I so appreciate gets the
Oh, same.
opportunity for a spotlight, and it's like they're just they're monkeys in a circus. That's the easiest way to describe it. And I'm not saying WWE's always been this great product, man, because it just started getting great again.
Look, I told my wife the other day it's the best it's been in 20 years.
Yeah, bro. Because I started watching the CM Punk and Paul Heyman thing in the WWE part of Peacock, and it started me out in 2011. And I'm sitting here watching things like Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes wrestling together, and I'm like, wow, like this, bro, against 3MB,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, bro, this is rough.
Yeah.
Like,
It was bad.
yeah, and I mean, even with CM Punk and Paul Heyman and John Cena and the Bella Twins, and I mean, they had fucking star power, bro. Like WWE had that shit back in the day. In
Yeah,
that
they just
time
couldn't put it
frame, they
together on
just
those. It was all the writers were fucking shit up, and we all know who controlled the writers.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, it's like Vince turned around and said, "You know what? I bought everybody out. New Japan's not doing anything against me. They're cool with me." That was it.
Right, right.
And when we started to say, "Hey, this sucks. We don't like it," he was like, "No, you're gonna like it." And then when he would put something on again, we were like, "No, we don't like this. You're gonna like it."
Yeah.
And then AEW came out, and he was like, and no disrespect, we're not going political, but when AEW came out, it was Donald Trump when COVID was first thing. Eh, it ain't real. And we'll leave it. We'll leave the Donald Trump comment at that because we all I will not go that route. But what I will say is when AEW started to make noise, then it took guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels saying, "Hey, you need to look at what the hell's going on over here." For Vince to go finally kind of go, "All right, we need to do this."
Yeah. Yeah, because that it could have went a totally different direction if they would have kept up.
Yeah, hey, and you know what? This right here, this comment is everything.
Oh yeah.
Like that is exactly what Vince would tell you.
Yep.
And you know what, bro? That is where I sat there and wished we had a contemporary because it made me stop watching it for a while. So under the right circumstances, I want them to meet in the middle as a fan because, bro, wrestling's great, and there's so much more they could be doing with it on all across the board, bro. And I mean, as great as WWE is right now, bro, they could be so much better, and I believe they'll get there. AEW has the people. Like, bro, Jericho might be old, fat, and looks ridiculous trying to fucking walk out like he's Gene Simmons, but the dude still draws a name. I would
Yeah, he does.
still pay to watch Chris Jericho wrestle, but I hate having to see it in AEW.
Yeah.
When there and I'm sorry, Jericho. I feel like Jericho's been running the same storylines just with different fucking factions for the whole time.
Yeah. It seems that way. He's just went around building factions.
Yeah, and I mean I get it. He's putting on new talent. I'll give bro. I will give Jericho one of the goat nods too because of what he
Oh yeah.
does for them talents.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No
You
doubt.
know, when you're taking Taz's son, I wish they would have let us understand who the hell Taz was.
Bro, let
Well,
me tell you what.
it, yeah, trust
Paul
me.
Heyman did.
Yeah, he's a Paul Heyman guy.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna get on this one real quick. Jericho has filed for like 30 different fucking trademarks recently. I'm seeing it as everything from promos to clothing to merchandise. I don't know where he's going with this. I hope it's somewhere good.
Look, none of them were as good. None of the nicknames were as good as the Ayatollah of
No,
rock and roll.
yeah, but
Sorry.
as we know,
Yeah.
WWE owns it.
Yup.
But I would like to believe if Chris went over to Hunter and said, "Hey, man, I would kind of like to have that. I'm willing to pay for it." I'm almost willing to bet Hunter's like, "Yeah, all right."
I bet he would too.
I'm willing to believe it because I do believe Hunter respects what AEW has going, whether he respects it as a legitimate threat or not.
He also knows people like wrestlers like Jericho and what they've done their whole career and what kind of guys they really are. So, he's liable to be partial to that as well.
Well, yeah, and I mean on top of that, yeah,
Because there's a
Hunter.
lot of good talent over there. It's just all about the way it's run. The same way WWE had struggles, like we were discussing previously just a few minutes ago, is exactly the same result of what's happening right now in AEW. It's piss poor writing.
Yeah, and the issue with AEW, bro, is there's no writing. There's no nothing. It's all right. We're going live. Here you go.
Ben says, not sure if Triple H would do that. Jericho called him a huge, horrible honker in the past and made that lovely comments about his wife as well. I remember reading about that a few weeks back, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
and honestly, I don't look. Here's my thing, man. Is I don't take and I don't know hunters like that, so I'm just guessing. But look at what the man was doing in DX, bro. I'm pretty sure if he had come across those comments in any way, it's one of those like, all right, because
Look,
bro,
Jericho has spent his career dissing and making fun of Triple H and Stephanie.
I mean, bro, Jericho had, well, actually Jericho and The Rock had an entire arena screaming slut at Stephanie McMahon
Sure did. I remember that. Wow,
and
that was crazy.
and Ho.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a crazy week. That was a crazy time in WWE.
And I remember reading about it later on and seeing an interview of Hunter that said that that was probably one of the funniest skits. Although she had to explain to Hunter what that it was going to happen, she had no idea what they were going to say, but she gave the green light. Yes, it did eventually, and he had said it at the moment it had upset him, but you know, once he had known everything, it was okay to laugh.
Oh hell yeah!
So,
That guy has no reason to say anything to anybody.
so speaking of Triple H, man, he had spoke about it. We got the WWE draft coming up. They're hyping it up. Looking at the dates, my man, we get to coincide with the NFL draft. Looks like we got double duty on us next week.
Yeah, it's been really quiet per se. The last few days, I haven't been up to date per se on anything that's gone on, but my phone hasn't been blowing up, and I haven't seen a bunch of crazy, you know, um, notifications. So it's been fairly quiet for a few weeks in the NFL and around the league. And coming up next week, you're going to start to see actually today, it being Monday, coming up into the middle to the end of this week, you're going to start to hear a lot more of a buzz on things. You got the difference between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, which a lot of people are swaying towards the Jaden Daniels portion. But there is no doubt in my mind that Chicago Bears will select Caleb Williams as the number one draft pick. The only question is, do the Washington Commanders take Jaden Daniels, or do they move back and gain draft capital and still maybe get a Drake May at 5? The Minnesota Vikings are looking for a quarterback. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers could make a move. There's rumors that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are interested in potentially moving up. They did gain another draft pick this year in a previous trade that gives them the ability to have some firepower to add with the potential trade to help maybe move up. So there's a lot that's going to be going on in the next week and a half. I'm so excited for it. And when you talk WWE draft, brother, let me tell you what.
Bro, yeah, because, hey, you know what's crazy? One script, well, one's not scripted that we are aware of when the
Yep.
NFL draft, and I'd like to believe this is the one night that WWE semi goes off script.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the draft picks are well written in the script and all that shit too. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. They're
So,
always very
and talking Bucks for a minute. Brought back Will Goldston. I mean, you know what, bro? I'm happy. I'm a Will Goldston fan.
I'm a big time
So
ghost.
that's tremendous to see.
Hold that thought real quick. Let me show you one of the reasons why I'm a Will Golston fan.
Hey, and while he's doing that, man, thank you guys all who tune in each and every week. Do us a favor, man. Keep commenting, like it, and share it across any sports or wrestling groups that you're aware of, man. Just know you guys are the MVP of what we do. We're just doing this, talking wrestling and sports like always, man. We just decided to have an audience. So we hope you guys are appreciating it.
Okay, I don't have it, but I'll post it on on the page.
Okay.
What it is my wife, her son, coincidentally, their dad is a Buccaneer fan. So they were all familiar when I met her. You know, they were all familiar with the Buccaneers, so it was an easy transition because like they come in like, okay, who are you marrying? She says the guy, and he has one rule: you got to be down with football or go find a hobby. You know, and and so they really caught on well. And when I became a season ticket holder, that was my way of utilizing something that I love and have a passion to try to connect with my family. Even if they don't, become huge football fans, you can never replace the experience of going to a tailgate, going to a game, and then potentially afterwards interacting with the players. It
And
just doesn't compare.
so what you're saying is, if you go to a Bucks game, you need to go to what, the Buck tailgate, because that's the only tailgate to be.
I think that's what I just said. I mean, you might be repeating me, but yeah, something along those lines. But so after one of the games where I took my stepson, Adair, I took him to the game, and after the game, we went around, and I was showing him all kind of stuff, and we were coming around to one of the sides where the players come out, and they were coming out at the moment. So we walked up to the gate, and we were talking to everybody, and out comes Will Golston. Will Golston picks him up, and he's at this time he's probably, let me say, like 9, 10.
Yeah.
He picks him up, throws him on his shoulder, and lets me cap a picture. And bro, the smile on that boy's face, dude, it made all of it worth it, all $375. And that wasn't including the tickets, because they were season tickets that I'd already paid for. Um, so like
So,
it made everything so much better, and I became a huge Will Golston fan, and my wife loves his thick thighs.
well, you know what, my Will Goldston fan story. 2019, bro. I was taking the girls to the games that year because obviously we weren't doing great. And if you remember 2019, they had that Shaq pack
Yeah.
because Shaq going on that amazing streak.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the
Thank you,
Giants.
Ben.
It was the Giants game we just lost. And shout out to Jameis, taking a photo with my kids too.
Right.
Um, but right before that, and actually, Will Goldston's the reason that we were able to get Jameis to come over because my oldest thought the Jameis Winston jersey was cool because she liked the number 3.
Right. Right.
So Will Goldston's talking to the kid next to us, and my youngest just had her flag over, and he came over and signed it. And you want to take a picture? She's like, yeah. And just bolt, bro, the way he is with kids, bro, and especially mine, was just, dog, it was so cool to see. He does take the time for each
Jameis
and
was
every fan.
fantastic with the youth of the fan side of it, and dude, I went after the games as a season ticket holder. That was my favorite thing to do, was to go interact with the players. I didn't go trash talk people. I didn't do this. I went and waited for them to leave. I went to congratulate them. I went to lift them up if they got their asses kicked. I went to lift them up, and that to me was fulfillment in the whole experience. And watching Jameis, he was pretty selective about who he approached. But brother, let me tell you what: if you had kids around you, he was coming near
I
you,
was,
bro.
I was about to say, bro, the 3 games that the girls did want to go with me that year, bro, Jameis was all about, like, he would come over to me at that point, and I never was really big on wanting his autograph
Right,
because, and it was no disrespect, but too many people were running around selling it. I wasn't gonna be the dude. I wasn't craving for autographs from him like that. It was just cool to meet the guy.
right.
Now I do wish I'd have got that FSU jersey I gave Shawnisha signed. That would have been cool to get signed when I gave her. You
Yeah.
know. And bro, the only when I went to go, I was gonna get rid of it because I had bought that when we drafted him before they had put his out.
Mm-hmm.
I had bought that. and that was the only Jameis Winston jersey I wore until I got my white one.
Right.
After that, I'd never
Or what?
wear it again because of course, my fandom for Alabama, you know, fandom. So, long story short, bro, seeing his reaction with kids was dope.
Yeah.
You know, that's why her love for him when I wanted to get it was time to get rid of it instead of throwing it away or whatever. Hey, Shawnee, here you go.
You know, I've got I've got interactions from players all the way from John Lynch, Mike Allstott, Derek Brooks, Mike Evans. I never got the chance to meet Tom Brady. Now,
Bro, I got a homeless guy outside of my job.
yeah.
That if you let him tell the story, he has sat on Tom Brady's yacht, thrown a football with him, had a couple beers, smoked a joint, and Tom Brady gave him $200 cash. I thought the story is adorable too.
I've had a lot of experience with a lot of players.
Hey, so you know what?
My
This is
favorite after
thi-
the game. Oh, real
this
quick. My
this right
favorite
here is
after
our
the.
final thoughts. This right here has been our final thoughts.
Oh, okay, okay. My favorite after the game player of all time, Pat O'Connor. Pat O'Connor,
He was
dude will
cool.
come up and BS with you. He'll come up and BS with you. He'll grab your phone, take pictures of you, like you're the famous person. Like puts on this whole
Yeah,
persona.
yeah. Pat O'Connor was always cool. I dug him. Now another. I don't know. I think my favorite one, bro, of all time. I have to say of all time, and I think it's because of the kids. But that photo that's been making rounds on my profile with me, Alex, and Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
So when we met him, my daughter had given him, or he given his oldest daughter. Can't remember her name right offhand, but he given Mike's oldest daughter her beads. It was actually her what the buck beads,
Right.
and actually the same night that her encounter with Will Goldston.
Okay.
Um, so she had seen after that loss, oh, why does his daughter have her head down? Oh, we just lost, I wouldn't be happy either. Oh well, I want to give her my beads. Hey, Mike, man, my kid wants to give your daughter beads because y'all lost and she had her head down looking sad. It's all right, man. Have her send them through the fence. Finding out that he still had them fucking beads, bro, and he thought the world of that was so cool. Like he still remembered it. Literally, I got the photo for Bella put up that I got to give to her still.
Nice.
But
That's awesome.
literally signed an extra because I don't know if it's because I'm me knowing Lewis Murphy. I don't know if that helped me out too, but you're only allowed to get one thing signed, either the photo they had or something you had.
Yeah.
Bro, he signed that. It literally took a little extra time. Like Tony Tago was there that day too.
Right.
And he'll tell you, bro, like that interaction I had and hearing that dog was probably a dog that beat like getting to meet Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks is awesome.
Like for me, that top getting to meet Derek Brooks. And yeah, Derek Brooks is the shit, dude.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So last thing for final thoughts, man. We're gonna start. We'll like I said, we'll double down next week when it comes to this draft. That's gonna be fun. We are going to do it Thursday night. I think we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
We're also gonna be doing our normal show Friday with double the topics. So that's gonna be fun. We are
Yeah.
also going to be doing one Saturday as a draft recap for the NFL draft as it ends. We're also going to semi recap SmackDown's draft to start off the night. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to possibly be predicting the Raw draft, and we'll go into a little bit of extra topics. So another thing, I think we should I think we might need to record again this week, whether it be audio, video, but there's some features on here that I want to play with that I think one of these shows could have some fun.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Well, I'll look for some topics to talk about, man.
All right, and hey, as of tonight, we're running on both 88, the Facebook and the YouTube channel.
Awesome. Fantastic.
So we're working on growing that audience. So we're gonna
Awesome.
keep everybody in here, man. Make sure y'all keep sharing. Share to any of these wrestling groups you guys know, any of the football groups you guys know. You do the same thing.
Absolutely. First off, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for participating and commenting. Ben Cornett, you were a champion tonight. Appreciate you, brother. And to everybody else out there that will watch this in the future, I appreciate, look us up and follow us, man. For Derek, Manic, Buck, Stevens, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. And I hope everybody has a safe week. And I'm out. We will see you next time.
Yes, sir.